Attention! At ease, chaps. I am
Hello,
Sergeant
Sergeant.
SL'ELDOR, and I'm wishing you all a good evening, or if you're catching in the rewatch because you slept in your barracks, we'll have to make you do 100 press-ups when you have woken up, because we can't have that on the war front. No. Indeed. Not with Skeletor or Cobra out and about. And yes, tonight we are going to be looking at Sergeant Slaughter of the GI.JOE classified line.
Yo, Joe.
With me to aid in that briefing, of course, we have XAZYL here from Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse.
It's a tongue twister.
Great, yes it is, sir. Say that 10 times fast. And
I'll do it one time, and I'll owe you 9.
Not being on time here. You have to say his name, channel name, 10 times fast. Right, introduce yourself there, sir.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on the channel. Unfortunately, Eldor couldn't join us, but it's an absolute pleasure to hang out with Sergeant SL'ELDOR over here on the Masterversal-Toyhunter channel. Phil's here. Hello, Phil. But yes, it's Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse is a channel where you can go to see everything you want to do about Sergeant Slaughter. If it exists, it's there. If it doesn't, and it's there, then I probably made it.
Just a moment there, sir. I interrupt you. I'm receiving an incoming encrypted transmission there from Sergeant Slaughter. I'll just have to reply to his message there.
Ooh.
Yes,
I concur.
So Sergeant Slaughter, the real Sergeant Slaughter, mind you, has just sent us an encrypted a message there saying he apologizes for not being able to show up on the show and grace us with his presence. He is rather busy there attending his troops. He's on a bit of an operation there with the Joes, so we'll let him go back to that. Indeed. So
he's a very busy man.
I've just sent him my reply there, of course.
Of course, naturally. And, so the thing about
who else do we have here?
TJC.
Good to see you in right on time. Good to see you. As you were, XAZYL, sir.
Oh, I was just saying, depending on when you're catching the stream, you could be waking up for breakfast. And what I think the message was that was coming through from Sarge, and correct me if I'm wrong, it may have been, good morning, maggots, and never, ever let the enemy eat your breakfast.
Indeed.
Unless I misheard the communique.
That was roughly it.
I thought so.
With being encrypted, we can't let all these secret messages get out there.
Well, yes, that's only the part that I felt comfortable, saying on live air. But yeah, the rest of it obviously is top secret.
And we can't endanger the troops now, can we?
That's right.
Get on with their work. So, indeed, the man of the hour has XAZYL has got us ready there. He's Sergeant Slaughter there. One of the drill instructors of the Joes there, I believe, keeping the men in line. But yes, before we crack into this box, we can never be too careful, because knowing is only half the battle. And we got very nasty surprises there. So I bought my bomb detection equipment, a bit of star tech, you might say. This in my hand is a bit of a tricorder scanner. So we'll just do the once over the box there and see if everything is kosher.
Anything coming up?
Nothing so far, no rattles. Everything seems secure. No plastic window there, as we can see. and we are verified by the scanner there, of course. We are all
I'm glad that was verified.
all right. So we're going to have a little deep dive into the origins of GI Joe, of course. So I prepared a few slides in our briefing there. And here we go. GI Joe is an American franchise and a line of action figures owned and produced by the toy company Hasbro, of course. The initial product offering represented 4 of the branches of the U.S. Armed Forces, with the American Soldier U.S. Army and Action Sailor U.S. Navy, of course. Action Pilot U.S. Air Force, our wings defending our skies, indeed. And the Action Marines, or the U.S. Marine Corps, getting rather wet there when need be, or called upon to. Deep. So let's continue our deep dive in here. And later on, the Action Nurse, keeping our men fit and healthy, of course. The name is derived from the usage of GI, Joe, or the generic U.S. soldier itself, derived from the more general term GI. The development of GI Joe led to the coining of the term action figure. GI Joe's appeal to the children has made it an American icon among toys. So yes, other fascinating stuff there, indeed.
Correct.
Back in the 1960s, where the GI Joe toy line first came out and about, but they were large action figures, mind you.
That's right. Yeah.
Was it the 3-point something that you got in the 1980s?
So the thing about the original GI Joe was that it was at first like just one generic person, right? One generic person called GI Joe that you could change out their outfits, quite like Action Man. And then they branched out and created sort of new characters, new nationalities, and then they went over to what was after the GI Joe military? It was like adventure GI Joe, and they were more of a exploration than a military force.
I understand a fellow had the idea of coming up with the bad guys. Of course, we know of as Cobra. They're the opposing force to the GI Joes, led by a Cobra Commander and a few squabblings. I take it with Serpentor there. Of course, from all these different fellows into one ultimate fighting warrior. But yes, they had a lot of internal struggle because of that in Cobra, which caused things to get a bit messy when you have a struggle with leadership going on there.
Correct. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Indeed. So we'll move on, and we'll bring up the personnel file here of one Sergeant Slaughter. And there he goes.
That's the man.
Robert Rudolph Remus, born August 27th, 1948. Best known by his ring name Sergeant Slaughter. He's an American voice actor. Of course, we know he voiced the character in G.I. Joe in the 80s years, and retired professional wrestler. So he's seen a few scraps in his time, no doubt.
Absolutely.
He is currently signed to WWE in the Ambassador Program. From the late 1970s to the early 1980s, Slaughter had success in National Wrestling Alliance, American Wrestling Association, and the World Wrestling Federation. He won the WWF World Heavyweight Championship and headlined WrestleMania. What's that? 7, I believe. In 1991, Slaughter also captured the NIWA United States Heavyweight Championship twice. He is a WWE Hall of Famer, so yes, he's well known there indeed in the halls. Introduced as a part of the class of 2004 as Sergeant Slaughter, Remus became known for his dark sunglasses, keep the sun out, of course.
Of course.
And his campaign hat. Yes, got to protect the head from the sun also. A little bit softer than mine, of course. But we do see our battles on different fronts. So, yes, protection from the sun is but one battle, indeed.
Oh, absolutely.
And
slip, slop, slap, kid.
And his Vietnam War era military fatigues.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had mine nice and clean there, as it should be.
Oh, yes.
In the 1980s, an alternate version of Sergeant Slaughter character, Sergeant Slaughter, was incorporated into the GI.JOE, the Real American Hero toy line, as well as animated series and comic books. And so, yes, that is a little bit of a brief history on the Sarge himself.
That's it. That's the man.
He has become a bit of a common sight on many TV serials, like the Mario and Luigi show they had on there a wee while back. He made quite a lot of appearances there, trying to iron the boys out and turn the plumbers into men, I think.
Doesn't quite go to plan.
No, they were rather clueless, as you say, but it's made for good comedy, nonetheless.
Well, Mario was played by Louis. Oh gosh, why am I forgetting? Phil, let us know in the chat who played Mario. It's going to hit me as soon as. Anyway, he was another wrestler. So I apologize to the wrestling fans that I can't remember Lou's last name. Captain Lou. Oh, come on, Phil. Help me out here. Bail me out. Cobra Clutch will get him for sure.
We have Screw Your Failings. You've finally decided to join us. I hope you have a wash behind your ears there.
Yes. Especially if you're going to get a Cobra Clutch. You get up close behind those ears.
I haven't said stand at ease, sir. I said attention. Stand attention there. While I have a look there behind those ears. Oh, yes. And not a speck to be seen.
Good.
Very good. At ease, soldier.
As you were. Albano, thank you. Screw Your Feelings. Captain Lou Albano. That's disappointing. I couldn't remember that. My apologies, wrestling fans. But yeah, he was a wrestler, so that's probably where they got that connection. They made that connection through that way. But yeah, there we are.
And yes, so very good. Let's look at the box here. So
yes, I got mine.
Like so. We both have our boxes. His one is a little bit more opened, shall we say. He's already gone through his rations there.
Yeah, exactly right. So, Sergeant SL'ELDOR, have you got an opinion, first of all, on there being a windowless package for the Sarge? Do you have an opinion on this?
Indeed, it's never good to not know what is concealed in any packages, of course. You can't always rely on the keen eye there to see if everything is looking straight and what have you, or if there's something a bit off with the paint. You never know. There could be a cobra disguised in there.
There's an alternate packaging, so you're looking at pretty much the action figure standing at attention,
of course,
and you've got all the gear there and so forth. That I feel like that's fine. If you want to see your action figure in the stores, and you want to see if it's got good paint apps, yeah, that makes sense. But I'll put it to you, Sergeant SL'ELDOR. I'll put it to you that him having a window box is irrelevant because you couldn't find them in stores. This was an online purchase only, so it's not like you could go out there and look for the best of the best anyhow. Having said that, also, I guess for the environment's sake, if that is an argument, and I'm not sure how much of an argument it is, for argument's sake, I'm happy to sacrifice some plastic, useless plastic, as in, obviously, the action figure is made of plastic. You're not going to get around that unless you start making wooden toys again. But we don't need all this plastic because that's going into the bin if we open it. So I'm happy to take away from the landfill a bunch of useless plastic if we're going to keep our collectible plastic. Obviously, that doesn't affect landfill necessarily, at least not straight away, if you don't open the boxes. But I think if I had to pick between a window or not a window, I'm happy to go the full box because I think the trade-off for having a windowless box is you get all of that room now to maximize the art potential for any given action figure box, Sarge included. And look, you see what you're going to get there anyway. So in my opinion...
Product shots, as MGO finally puts it, from time to time, you do get a little portion of art there, but indeed, not much. And as you say, with window packaging, it doesn't leave much room for the card art at times. But I suppose, mind you, being a responsible soldier, you should be responsible with your plastic and recycling. There are many ways in which you can reuse your plastic should you choose to unbox your figure there and expose it to the elements.
Right.
Sure
well, recycling is a choice that people make, and people quite often can't be bothered making that choice. So if we have to make the choice for them in windowless packaging, well, I'm happy for that too.
And when you see when people are careless and litter their trash all about the place, then I suppose companies backed into a corner there as far as how much plastic they produce. So one thing leads to another, I suppose, in some cases. It's an ongoing fight, indeed.
Indeed.
So yes, we've done our scans, so we're looking good. Nothing seems to be tampered with. So yes, I'll try and bring myself up there, if it will allow me to. No, we seem to have a bit of a layout malfunction.
I'm just going to fix my light up. It is blinding me.
No, it looks like it's not going to work for me, no matter how many times I click on it. So we'll just have
what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, Sergeant?
I was going to blow myself up there. Not literally, of course, but
is it not the top
landmines there?
So in your top right-hand corner of yourself should be able to make you solo layout, right? There we are.
There it is. All right, so we're going to get into the art there first and foremost. So we have several depictions there, indeed. So obviously, I'm guessing up here we have a bit of a comic book depiction, I suppose you would say.
Yep.
Because we have the speech bubble, which is a telltale sign of a comic book. I hope you're all writing that down in the chat there. Got your notebooks out there. And what else have we down below? This appears to be a bit of a TV show representation. Is that right there, sir?
It's definitely representative of the animation.
And yes, I suppose this image up here is from his days in the old wrestling battles there.
Yeah, so
looks like he's just come out on stage, as it were.
I've got a little bit of history to give you to do with the box art, if you'll indulge me.
Of course.
The art itself was done by an artist, a brilliant artist named Adam Riches. Adam Riches, I've had him on my show before. He said that he got the gig he mentioned on my channel he got the gig for doing this after he saw a video that I put out on my channel saying that we're probably going to be getting a classified Sergeant Slaughter. So he hit up Hasbro and he says, I want this one. I want this project. It was a passion project for Adam Riches. Shout out to Adam Riches. Check out his Instagram. He's done a lot of great art for a lot of your favorite G.I. Joes going back a few years now, not just for classified. So what you can't see, because on the bottom corner, there's a product shot there, which is probably, yep. So what you don't see because of that product shot, in the original art, that hand holding the Sarge, that is also holding the Sarge, there was actually another piece to this picture which had Cobra Commander being punched through that area and falling down to the ground. They've cut out that section that had Cobra Commander in it because they put the product shot there. But that was supposed to be Sarge holding Sarge holding Sarge. And you'll actually see in black and white, just above that image, is a picture of Sarge sitting in his triple T. Oh, yes, and that's from the TV commercial. What you're looking at...
Keep your look out there.
Yep, so that you can just make out the triple T Sarge behind that punched out image. So basically what he was representing here was he was bursting through the TV commercial to take out Cobra Commander, and then Cobra Commander fell down through that way. This here is obviously Sergeant Slaughter, the man who would do promos for G.I. Joe, whether it be for the live action segments, for the TV show or the movie, or if he was doing the live segments for the commercials. That's representative of that. The center image is representative of just the action figure, basically, which looks great. Top corner, as you mentioned, is a representative of his comic appearance, which he didn't have many, but he was there for I think maybe 2 or 3 comics. Not many. Never made the cover, unfortunately. And then he's standing in front of the G.I. Joe base on the bottom image from the cartoon. But he also, if you look at this image here on the side, you can see the Sky Strikers going overhead.
Of course, reflection there.
Which looks great. Which only has me thinking, how low are these Sky Strikers flying? Because he's staring right at him, and he's looking at the undercarriage.
They're probably doing a salute there, I think.
Oh yes, they're definitely flying in formation.
Yes, sir. So I understand. You're all looking forward to Sergeant Slaughter's vehicle there. Hopefully, in the maybe next Hasbro HasLab there. So
I can.
This tank, I suppose.
So the Triple T, I can live without it as far as a classified scale vehicle is concerned. I'm not too concerned about upscaling my vehicles for G.I. Joe. I think the 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joes were perfect for vehicles. Yes. And I think it's going to get a little bit crowded if they keep making vehicles for the 6-inch line. If you're going to, I wouldn't mind
need a decent airstrip or base to hold that
right
on, no doubt.
So we say we want them, but do we really want them? I don't think we really do. Not when it comes down to the size of it. If you could think about a classified scale mauler or a classified scale whale, it would be too big. In order for them to do it justice, it would be way too big.
In the 6-inch, if I'm not mistaken, size range there.
Yeah.
But the smaller Joes, like your vintage, I suppose it was the Resolute line, was a fairly recent or newish line. Makes good for your world building there and what have you. So treasures for Trigger. Let's get to the chat there, of course. Will you be getting the box signed at Joe Fest? I suppose it's the old question there, so.
So what I'm hoping to do, because I can flatten the box and take it with me, I suppose, get it signed. But because Adam Riches is going to be at Joe Fest and Sergeant Slaughter are going to be at Joe Fest. So
give them my best there, sir.
I will definitely pass that on, Sergeant Slaughter. I'm thinking either I flat pack this and bring it with me, which is an option, or Sarge will often have a little bit of, I might buy one personally from Sarge for Sarge to buy. Not for Sarge to buy. I will buy one from Sarge to sign, and then failing, if he didn't have one of those, I'm sure Adam Richards has probably got a bunch as well that I could sign. But if I can pick one up there, I'll do it, particularly because I want to support those that I'm big fans of. So I will make a purchase if he has one to support my childhood hero, and I will purchase a signature as well from Adam Richards to support what is obviously a epic artist.
Of course.
Big fan.
You might as well bring yours, sir, because of the age-old reason. It's better to have it and not need it, but need it and not have it, as they say.
That is true. I wouldn't want to go there empty-handed. But another option is having a poster of, because that would make an outstanding poster. On a T-shirt recently, sent to me by Articulated Chad. This image on a T-shirt. So that's another option too, is to get a T-shirt signed. But Phil, you've brought up.
See there. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. He says he's on a bit of a mission there. We'll have to catch up the replay, as I have to deploy with my boys for football training. Of course, missions are important, and good soldiers or children follow orders.
Good luck with the training.
There, sir. Good luck indeed.
Oh, yes. When he says football, he's talking the world's football.
Oh, yes. There'll be a bit of a war on there, I suppose, indeed. And treasures for Trigger. Yes, good to have you in there. A classified triple T would be pretty sweet. Yes, sir. Pretty detailed.
It would be, I've seen some people do 3D printed versions of them, which are very good. They are very good. And, that's just as good as, from the ones I've seen, are just as good as a Hasbro made one. If Hasbro made one and it came with a Sarge, well, I'd have to have it. But in actual fact, this version of Sarge isn't actually a representative of the Triple T Sarge, because the Triple T Sarge had a different colored campaign cover. The Triple T Sarge had a green campaign cover. This one's got a brown one. The camo is obviously different and the boots are different. So I don't consider this a Triple T Sarge. I consider this its own version of Sarge, its own classification, as in classified Sarge, and I don't think of it as a Triple T driver Sarge. No more than I would consider the Warthog Sarge to be a Triple T Sarge, or a mail away Sarge to be a Triple T Sarge. I don't consider this to be a Triple T Sarge, even though it very, very closely resembles it, but not entirely. Different color campaign cover, different scale altogether.
Yes, I've been following a fellow there, constructing his own his tank.
Yes.
Figures, and I believe he's in one of the final stages of making the molds up to cast the main body of that. But it has been fascinating watching him engineer all the detail in the form of that. And also, you're a little bit late there, sir. I don't know. Shall we make you do a 5 sit-ups in your chair there? But anyway, welcome in. Better late than never, I suppose.
Hello, Brushstroke.
Brushstroke, greetings in there. He says, I love the figure, but didn't like how invincible they made the Sarge in the Rise of Serpentor miniseries. He could destroy all of Cobra single-handedly.
Well, so in the Arise Serpentor Arise miniseries, his strength fluctuates. So while he does come in and take out a few bats single-handedly to help turn the tide in the beginning, as the series progresses, he then becomes less overpowered, basically, to a point where Cobra were able to kidnap him. You can't really kidnap a grown person. Abducted Sergeant Slaughter for their own nefarious plans. And
they wore him out, in other words.
Well, yeah. They had their tactics. Started a small rivalry between him and Dr. Mindbender that spilled over into a few other episodes before, obviously.
A bit of a toothache, I'm sure.
Correct. But yeah, the good thing about this Sergeant Slaughter, if you'll also indulge me for a moment, which is a first for G.I. Joe, not the removable campaign cover, but the ability to remove his sunglasses has never happened in any media for G.I. Joe as far as Sergeant Slaughter is concerned. He's lost his campaign cover a couple of times in a few episodes. Except for the comics. I will grant that the comics he does not have his shades on, his aviators on for a moment. But this is the first time we're able to get a Sergeant Slaughter with that removable aviator look. But I'll let you get to the accessories part if you're going to be pulling one apart yourself.
Well, with that being said, I think it's time we free the Sarge there. What do you reckon?
Let's do it.
Been cooped up in this box for far too many tours of duty, shall we say. So yes, in tow, we have a main box here.
Yep.
Of course, with Sergeant Slaughter, encased and packaged in there. And yes, he's all tied up, like being captured from Cobra there, as you were saying before. So
even the twist ties on him are made of cardboard or a paper product. So the whole thing is basically recyclable. I mean, even plastic is recyclable, but it'll decompose. If you throw it out.
But the old biodegradable.
Biodegradable. Thank you, SL'ELDOR. That's the word I was looking for. Biodegradable.
I believe that is the military term, I think.
Well, it's definitely a term.
And he's
howdy, brushstroke.
Howdy there, brushstroke. Bust him open. All right, here we go there. He's all tied up, so we're all broken into Cobra's stronghold there. I should have brought a machete with me to cut these ties, but we shall muddle through and knock them up, of course.
I untied them, as difficult as it was for some of it. I untied them by hand, and because I am such a super collector of Sergeant Slaughter, I kept all the internal packaging in the box.
Yes, I'm rather like that myself. When my hands are not afflicted with the old arthritis there. I wonder why they still keep me in the force there.
Well, you can't get rid of that level of expertise, right?
Of course. Wisdom,
Phil,
however one gains it, grows with age, of course.
Phil's saying to use a spell to untie him, but I think he's gotten you confused with SL'ELDOR.
Oh, yes. I should have said that from the beginning. SL'ELDOR has most kindly let me use his YouTube there because I'm too busy with the troops to maintain and keep my own YouTube channel. So he has kindly let me use his channel there tonight to unbox on this fellow here. And, of course, a yarn about the good man himself there. Of course, I have set in on some of your lives there, of course, when SL'ELDOR's been out in the markets and you've had Sergeant Slaughter in on your lives there, sir. So he's told a good few wonderful stories there.
Thank you. Yeah, every so often the Sarge himself will jump onto the Slaughterhouse channel, which was pretty much a dream come true to have my childhood hero, Sergeant Slaughter, jump onto Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse, which I guess makes sense when you got a name like that. I mean, it's like a calling card, right? Here's a channel called Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse. Eventually, I'm going to get noticed by the Sarge, not just because I've got all the Sergeant Slaughter stuff you can have there, but being the number one Sergeant Slaughter fan and having a weird name like XAZYL, you kind of stand out.
Indeed, like a code name there, if you will.
Right.
And just dropped in. Also, we have Bill from Weird Fantastic Boys.
How are you, buddy?
I hope you have your boots nice and polished there. And your uniform,
Mm.
nice and spiffy and clean for inspection. You may stand at ease there, sir. And we go back on the chat there for Treasures to Trigger. Sergeant Slaughter endorses the biodegradable product, of course.
Right, yes.
Just like safety first, environment first.
That's right.
Know your surroundings, of course. And Bill sends his greetings to Brushstroke, and of course, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Good to have you in, indeed, sir. And I might
love
take the
that
time.
picture.
That reminds me, tomorrow, if most of you head on over to Grindhead Jim's channel, he's running a bit of a benefit for life to help
very good.
Rolo there of Masters Maniac Mexico. I believe his YouTube code name is. Of course, to help raise a little bit of money to help him get his surgeries to help ease a bit of his suffering with battling cancer there. Not a good fight to be in the thick of, indeed. But Rolo has, of course, been putting up the good fight there.
Right.
So I send a salute to Rolo, of course.
Yeah, he's a good bloke. Very funny, too, sometimes.
Very clever, too, with the old action figure scene, I understand.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Treasures for Trigger, Kelly was going to hunt you down eventually. Oh, I see you have a trip coming up there, sir.
So, yeah, that's definitely not somebody I'd want to get on the bad side of. Kelly, I think, could definitely kick anyone's butt. So I'll keep her on my good side. Love you, Kelly. Please don't hurt me too much.
Part of the team, indeed, and a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah. She carries on that Slaughter name.
Right, where are we next? A Howdy Legend. And,
takes one to know one.
I've been trying to join a bit more recently. Join the army there, we'll say. Very good. We will give our salutes. And with fantastic toys, adventures. Bill, I just made my new custom figure, a Master of the Universe, Mia Asado, the violinist. Yes, I saw that rather amazing custom you shared before in the chat there. Eldor was showing me. Very clever indeed. He also showed me the Queen Marlena custom. He did a little bit of work on. I think someone else did a little bit of work on that custom also. And indeed, Bill, we'll definitely spread the word out there. And
yeah, we'll check it out.
Yes, I've been sending out a lot of encrypted transmissions, shall we say, to spread the word out around the forces there to make sure they arrive on time to help Rolo out there, because our strength in numbers, indeed. And Helion Dread has decided to join us. Were you a bit sleepy in the old barracks there, sir? Never mind.
Hello.
We'll make you do the press-ups tomorrow. But welcome in there. And you may stand at ease, sir. All right, so back to the matters in hand. So I've just freed Sergeant Slaughter there after being all tied up by the Cobra.
Look at those fists of fury.
He's a rather well-built looking fellow there indeed. He has his chin poking out to let you know he's meaning business there. And to not fool about and be there on time, as it were. So yes, I rather like the articulation here. He has a bit of a butterfly joint, I believe you call it, going on around the shoulders there. Slightly, not too much, but enough there. Just going carefully, because I don't have the heat going on there, obviously, to soften up the joints. But Sergeant Slaughter is no softy indeed.
That's right.
He's full of iron and a hard-up, strong fellow. And so far, his joints are holding up to all the articulation motions there. He has a good amount of range on his waist swivel there, and of course a nice amount of detail in his belt, even down to a make out of the sewing seam.
Oh
Not
yeah.
sure how well it's showing there on the visual scanner there. So
I'll if you show mine, I'll see if mine's a bit clearer.
and Bill there, I can't stay up and help. With the benefit, I have to go get a few winks of sleep. Yes, the soldiers if you run them too ragged, yes, we lose the fight, as it were. So a decent night's sleep and a good breakfast in the morning is the way to go. And of course, making sure you have your a cup of tea. What?
Lovely cuppa.
Yes, good having you in, Bill. So good night there. Brushstroke. I'm looking forward to seeing that Mia Asano custom figure. She looks like a cutie and a cool artist as well. Yes, so I'm sure he'll be Bill will be sharing a few posts of his custom there. And Bill saying he'll see us all on Grindhead Jim's channel tomorrow. Of course, we'll be there on time. Oh, look at those guns! I believe you say we'll get him in the old flexing position there. He's showing the Cobra he's well armed there, as it were.
Well armed indeed.
So I understand there'll be 2 channels operating with Rolo's life benefit tomorrow. I think on his channel there. I forget what it was called. Something Toys. I believe the name that he operates under. He does mix his toys up and things. Sergeant Slaughter is huge. Yes, I'm rather impressed. The amount of detail he's adorned with there, and nice detail in his boots, of course. And who else do we have on the chat there? Huge, figuratively and literally. Yeah, there. Talk about tongue-tied.
Don't you mean laterally?
I'm rather impressed there. Figuratively, yes. So to help us see some of the detail more better, because the good journey to you too, Bill, sir. We'll salute you somehow.
Good journey, Bill.
All right, we'll move on to a website I found here called Action Figure Barbecue, which XAZYL has told me is a rather good site where he reviews different figures. So here, of course, we have a better look at Sergeant Slaughter there. And
oh yeah, look at that handsome man.
So of course, in the set, we have a bit of a hand loadout. Of course, he comes with his fists out of the package there. But yes, he comes with several lots of hands where you can do different positions, and of course, hands for holding his accessories. So he's pointing at all his maggots there, or apes, as I call them, all you apes. And yes, he's getting the troops to line up there, making sure there's no stragglers sleeping in the barracks, as we have had today there. So yes, you can see a good amount of the pocket detail sculpted into his pants, and a slight coloring in the camouflage. And of course, in this photo, he is wearing several of his other notable accessories. He has his drill sergeant whistle there to put a jump in your step if you are dozing off. And of course, he has his sun protection, safety first, of course. And he has his sunglasses there, and his peaked hat there. The lovely detail. But we'll get onto that when I bust out the rest of his accessories. And here I believe he is next to the the Action Force Sergeant Slaughter there, or the Valorous version.
That's it.
So yes, indeed, a good deal of difference there. This time he is sporting a bit of a vest and thigh holsters for various weaponry, and he is holding his gun in that hand there, looking rather good indeed. And here we see here's a rather nice fold sculpt work in his singlet there, and indeed on closer inspection he has a nice texture which you can vaguely make out around this lit areas here where the light is hitting the figure to give a good texture to the clothing, of course.
So the only negative I have with the torso is that it's black paint. Well, it's cast in black, and the flesh tone is painted over the black, which makes the upper shoulders seem slightly. You can see some of that black blending through ever so slightly. Not hugely noticeable unless you're really looking for it, but still a notable thing.
Very back there, yes, I see a bit of where the skin tone is faded, looks faded a little bit.
Right.
Yes, the coverage hasn't been applied too well there.
Right. Maybe another coat of flesh tone would have helped to blend it through a little nicer. But it's definitely something that I picked up on.
And there we have a better close-up of his head with a band going around the inside of the brim there, and a little detail emblem attached at the top. And indeed, he has a nice tidy paint apps, well, on mine at least, of his moustache there.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good attention to detail, and he's ready to do his Sergeant Slaughter. Was it grab there? What's he called?
The Cobra clutch.
The clutch. That's the one.
So I'm gonna test the accessories, see if they stay on. Well, they stay on mine, so that's a good sign. Let's go. Look at that.
A sign of a good man, indeed.
What's he pointing at? Land down under.
Brushstroke.
They stay on.
I wonder if
that's the shake test.
Meditation you started us all using from GI.JOE, which will catch on with general society. It would be cool if that happened. Well, yes, it's we don't like to say goodbye. You see, until next time, you carry on in your journey or in your fight, and we hope for you a good one. So yes, good journey indeed.
Good journey.
Brushstroke, the texture on the tank top is nice. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Good they've made that attention to detail, indeed. So let's see if we can get back up there. All right, so he's about to do his Sarge clutch there. And here we go to the different assortment of hands that you do indeed get in the set there. So we have his fists. His sort of a slightly open fist to hold the firearms, the weaponry, and some open hands there for clutching, no doubt. And he's counting the troops there with his pointed fingers.
He's up to 2 so far.
Yes, you've got to see who's still asleep and who's not, and who's showing up and what have you. And he's counted 2 heads missing there. He's not looking too happy there. So indeed, you see the detail in his whistle there, giving them a short, sharp wake-up blaster, wake-up call there to rally the troops.
So have you got an opinion, SL'ELDOR, Sergeant? Sorry, have you got an opinion, Sergeant SL'ELDOR, on the fact that it's not a pinless arm joint there?
Yes. So indeed, you can see the pins,
right,
attaching the different joints and what have you on the action figure there. So I'm not sure what to make of that really, whether it's come off the assembly line because usually the pinless joints are a product of a bit of a 3D printing tech there. That's how you get away with the not having the pins showing through the arms there. You
So
get that mostly on the Masterverse figures. You see
right.
that they print the figures out, and in around all the jointed areas, or the areas designated to be joints, they print a sort of a gel out there, and then once that's all done, they blast the figures to get rid of all the gel and so forth. And
So I don't.
that's what
For me,
causes you to be left with the pinless joints.
so the legs are pinless. The arms are
Yes, I
not.
see that.
A lot of people have an opinion on pinless versus pinned joints. I don't have a
Yes.
preference, and I'll tell you why. It's because they're toys, and I don't care. I don't care if my toys look
Indeed.
like toys.
Well, as you recall, with the 1980s there, with the smaller GI.JOE figures, they were all you could see all that, and the rivets, the rivet joints. I think they used we metal pins or something in those figures. But yes, it's something we've all grown up with, I'm sure.
I mean, it's a good progression as far as technology is concerned to be able to come up with a toy that can be pinless. I get that there is a lot of creativity involved. I'm just saying that I'm not aggressively against the use of pinned joints in this instance. If it didn't have pinned joints, I would think it was just as good as it is now with the pin joints. It's not a big deal for me. It's not a deal breaker for me.
Of course, it helps to keep everything in motion.
Well, I won't get confused. When I go to Joe Fest, I won't get confused between this action figure and the real Sarge because Sarge won't have pins. I'll know the difference then.
You will see the obvious disguises and
yeah, I'll be able to tell.
So yes, we neglected to look at the other accessories. So
Yes.
I have got the crate here, which resembles a bit of a container for holding all your pieces. So a good bit of as we were talking about before, recycling. You can reuse some of your box pieces that have come out there for a bit of a backdrop display. So you have your containers there holding all your various weaponry and supplies and what have you.
I thought this was a great idea.
Sergeant Slaughter's name on the
Yes.
side of the box there, of course, with the identification code pad there on the front.
Have you got the combination, SL'ELDOR? Have you got the combination to get in there?
It's a very hush-hush.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that we can see inside the box, making sure you've been given the combination.
He's pre-encoded all that for us.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
So we'll open the container up here. And yes, we are met by assorted bags of different odds and ends. And a few cardboard slips, keeping everything nice and neat and straight, of course. Especially with the thinner plastic and what have you. But as I said, I don't have my machete with me, which made a bit of more harder work for myself, having to pry off all this sticky tape there. We are in a sticky situation indeed. And you also get your rules and briefing for your mission notes there. But it's all top secret, of course, for his eyes only. So we'll put that back in the container there. And we'll have a little go over what we can find. Of course, we are tearing into this first bag here. I'm not seeing any strange wiring or anything. No bombs on this one. A lot of handy pieces in there, but we've already gone over the hands, so to avoid losing small pieces, we'll keep the hands in the bag there.
Good idea.
So yes, a lot of small parts you get for your AK-47, and the rest is all handy. But we'll try to go out of the hands as much as possible. And yes, now we're on to freeing some of these pieces out of the cardboard there. If indeed we can manage it without causing any breakage. Very, very delicate mission, this.
So I think that's the aviators, am I right?
Yes, looking, I believe so. It has causing me to try and be a bit more delicate here. And indeed, we have the aviator pieces set nice and neat, but they're almost falling out of the cardboard, so we can't have them getting all lost, as it were. So indeed, as we have seen in the photos there, comes with these aviators. We're just
very reflective.
Try those on because it does add to the Sergeant Slaughter look that we all know and love, of course. And there, honouring the man himself with his aviators there.
Oh yeah,
nice and shiny. So that is the look we are going for. And here, of course, we have his hat, as we have seen in those previous images. And that
the campaign cover.
Yes, he has his canopy on there. Keep the sun off his head. And yes,
nice and snug.
It's nice and snug fit, as it should be. That's really important there, making sure your headwear is nice and comfortable. Not cutting off the circulation, if you will. Will be no good when you're out in the field there. So yes, he has his hat there. Getting more to the Sergeant Slaughter look, as it were.
Looking good. You want to do the shake test and see if his accessories fall off?
Oh, we haven't got all the accessories out yet. We might grab his whistle there.
Well, I have a feeling you're going to have to remove some of those accessories to get that whistle on.
Oh yes, I wish I had my machete on me there to cut some of this tape off. Yeah, you can't find yourself in the thick jungle there without your trusty machete at your side to slash through the long grass and slugging it through the brush there out in the wilderness. So we have freed his military set of military issue baton there. His baton.
That's the swagger stick. I call it the swagger stick.
So
I think
indeed, he's not up to holding that at the moment because we still have his fists attached.
Oh yeah,
He must be ready for a bit of fisticuffs there with old our Cobra Commander. Who was that other fellow? Not Serpentor. There was another villain, I believe he had a bit of a brush with. But anyway, we're putting on his whistle there rather carefully because the glasses are still a bit loose there.
So some of the notable rivalries that Sergeant Slaughter had within GI.JOE, not necessarily wrestling, we had Iron Sheik for wrestling and so forth and so on, but for GI.JOE, obviously the forces of Cobra, Dr. Mindbender was probably his first real one, other than Serpentor. Serpentor was created trying to use the DNA of Sergeant Slaughter. He has a big chip on his shoulder for Dr. Mindbender for doing that.
I think so.
Another notable one, other than the movie where we had Nemesis Enforcer, that was a good matchup. But there was also a mini rivalry in the commercials between Sergeant Slaughter and Overlord. So there was a group of commercials where there was a back and forwards rivalry between Overlord, the Cobra character, and Sergeant Slaughter, the live action Sarge. So check that out one time, won't you?
So what film was that in? I've seen the first one. Was it Rise of Cobra? I saw the second film, but I've yet to
So,
see the Snake Eyes version.
all
Is
right,
there another
yes.
one out there?
No, this was just the toy commercial for the Overlord rivalry. Is the action
Oh, I
figure
see.
commercial for the original GI Joe, a real American hero commercials.
Yes, he does look a bit like Popeye there with his muscles.
Oh yeah,
He eats a good breakfast when he gets up at a reasonable time in the morning there. He never
correct.
sleeps in.
And he never
He's
lets
always
the
on
enemy
top.
eat it.
The enemy waits for no one, as they say. All right, so yes, we have freed most of these accessories, so we'll quickly, as you say, do the old test there.
Oh yeah, give him a bit of a shake, 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 shake,
Give it
shake,
a
shake,
rattle and roll.
shake that slaughter, shake that slaughter.
He's getting a bit of a headache. We'll stop doing that.
Now I don't know if you're aware,
You're on the side.
Sergeant Slaughter, if you hit a comment a second time, it'll remove it from the screen. Unless you wanted it on the screen. I'm just saying.
Oh no! Oh, good. We are all here for giggles. When it's called for. So yes, we have a good look at some of his wares we have at the moment, and of course he comes with a little version of his action figure there.
Oh yes.
Reminds me of the world's smallest action figures you have going on there at the moment.
Yeah. So that the art on that
pretty good for infiltration there. If you're that's
for a
tiny,
mini Sarge,
and
yeah.
slip by Cobra, no trouble.
So the art on the mini Sarge there is a carryover from the Adam Riches art, but the original prototype that they showed for this mini Sarge originally had the 25th anniversary Sarge art on it. So I'm glad that they changed it and put Adam Riches' art on there. Yeah, not much to see on the back, but that's okay.
Oh yes, still the old GI Joe star.
Yes,
of course, the old stars and stripes. So yes, in this last bit of cardboard, of course, we will have the AK-47. Somehow, we'll get there. Even if we have to bust a little bit of cardboard in the process.
there should be the scope somewhere as well.
Yes, we have the scope there, so that is indeed a detachable piece, of course, and we'll go back there to our screen share. And yes, moving along, here we come to the AK-47, of course, which I believe was a Russian-produced weapon back around, what was it, World War II, I think it was, in service from about 1949 to 1947 in the Soviet Union there. But I believe it's been sparsely used around other countries. So mass without magazine is about 3.47 kg or 7.7 libs. Magazine empty 0.43 kg, 0.95 libs. So early issue there. So we have a little info on the weight of the weapon. Of course, with building up your muscles there in training, it gets you well suited for firing off a few rounds, as they say. And length, fixed wooden stock around 880 millimeters or 35 inches. And what we have 875 millimeters and 34.4 in folding the stock. And barrel length overall is about 450 millimeters with 16.3 inches. And rate of fire is about 600 rounds per minute. And combat rate of fire semi-automatic, 40 rounds a minute. Bursts roughly 100 rounds a minute there. And yes, so indeed seems like a nice robust weapon to to lay down the suppression fire there, if you will. So indeed, we have a lovely amount of detail there, and we see it does come with a magazine, which in this picture it is locked in place in there, lock and loaded, you might say. And a nice bit of paint apps there in the handle, and around the other hand grip here. And yes, before you have the magazine well and truly out. Safety first, of course. And yes, the detachable scope, which attaches on the top of the firearm there.
Well, the original Sergeant Slaughter offerings, none of the original ones came with a firing weapon.
Yes,
only ever came
is baton there, I believe.
Right, or the removable campaign cover. It wasn't until the 2006 convention exclusive and the subsequent later modern era exclusives that gave him a weapon, but those weren't retail releases. They were much later in the line. So I guess this is the first time a common figure, commonly available figure, regardless of how you got it. It wasn't a store offering, obviously, but it was very difficult to get the 2006 Sarge. Very difficult to get the later 25th anniversary style Sergeant Slaughter figures. So mass produced. This is the first one to come with a firearm. So I don't really care that it's a AK-47 because Sarge never really needed a gun. So the opinion is, and I agree, is that Sarge just picked this one up on the battlefield, acquired it from a Cobra, as he often did.
Yes.
When he was in the cartoon. I don't think Sarge started with it.
I believe that has been the prevailing story there, sir.
When you've got the slaughter cannons, you don't need no gun.
Yes, as you said before, his strength was in different ranges there. So, we have a magazine. We're holding the gun there. On the other hand, we can slide it in, but I think I had to run the wrong way. That won't do, will it?
Well, if you're Sarge, I reckon he could make it work. You just order the bullets to fire.
Like it's going to be a bit of a push and go there. So yes, we have the magazine all loaded in place there.
Excellent.
Point it down there. Safety's on. Looks like it is.
Good.
And yes, so the scope will attach like so, somewhere here. Oh, there it is. So yes, notably, there is a little slot on this side. You probably won't be able to make it out, but we'll try. So right around here, you'll make out a little slot or a socket there, which the sight will indeed plug into. It has a little a plug sticking out at one end, or one side rather. And that should, if my arthritis will play ball with me. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to plug in for us.
Have you got it in the right spot?
I believe so. Oh, no, I haven't. I don't think. Let's have a look there. Oh, no, it's on the other side, rather. That's where all that bother is happening. No, know your firearms there when you clean them.
Knowing is half the battle.
Indeed. Yes, I think we have it all located there, sir. So, yes. There we have the sight attached onto the AK-47 there. But what isn't okay, or AK rather, we might have to get one of these smaller hands out there so we can have him quickly holding his weapon. We must make sure we get the right hands, of course. We can't have him looking like a Dr. Mindbed experiment gone wrong. So I think we might have a more open hand for holding the middle grip there. And let's see if we have our right-looking hands. I suppose we do. But yes, I noticed common thing with these figures is, especially Masterverse, the hands are quite hard to pop out. So hopefully we don't break anything. there is a first hand out there, and making sure that the thumbs are pointed in.
Give him a hand.
These stems are rather long and scary. I don't want to get the snap going on there. They're rather too long, if you ask me. This is a trigger happy hand in that arm. And we remove the fist from this hand here, which is a bit more. I haven't had my Weet-Bix for breakfast, obviously. Oh, no,
You
it's
got
not
this.
going too much. Too
No,
tough
it's
for
in there.
my old hands there.
Well, that's right. He can hold it in one hand.
We're having ready to knock old Cobra Commander there out there as well.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll just quickly put the AK in there. It's good he has the trigger finger sculpted right, and the sight is going to fall out for us. And so is the magazine there. Got off to a good start, really. The Cobra forces are right on the doorstep there. You must have your weapons at the ready, as they say. So yes, I will put the magazine back in there. Let him get ready to pop off a few rounds. Although the Sarge, I don't think he needs the sight. He's a fairly good marksman there. Just point and go, I believe you say.
There you go.
So indeed, we can try and get a bit of a wiggle on that butterfly joint, hopefully. I think it's in as far as it goes. We might angle his head in there. And there he goes. He's stalking the old Cobra there. He's popping up above the trenches, as they say.
Yo, Joe.
So yes, not bad when you can get everything in place, and a place for everything, I suppose. Now let's see what we are in the chat there. Has run away on us. Lock and load, Sarge. Yes. All right, you maggots. Come out and face me, he's saying.
Oh, yes.
Yes, practice battle drills there. Keeping the men all on their toes and alert.
That'll be a good team up.
Brushstroke, Refrigerator Perry should be Sergeant Slaughter's fellow drill sergeant and psychic. Oh, yes. Depending if the man is a bit of a Batman, a bit of a one-man show or something.
I don't know if the
present Robin accepted, of course, but that was the case. As you were, sir.
I'm not sure if the fridge would make for a good sidekick, but he'd make for a good brother in arm for a team up. Those two as a tag team.
You probably best to take the car door with you rather than the fridge door, because if you get too hot, you can wind the window down, of course.
Absolutely.
So what else do we have there? Brushstroke. Slaughter should also have a boxing match with Big Boa.
Could you bring me onto the screen for a second, SL'ELDOR? I just want to say, as cool as Sergeant Slaughter would be to have a boxing match with Big Boa, I have a better contender in my mind to go up against Big Boa, and that is this guy right here, Balrog. This is the guy that's going to be, handmade. And this guy is going right up against Big Boa soon. So stay tuned, Joe fans. This guy is coming for Big Boa. You better bring some tissues.
Indeed, you maggots. Be there or be square. There's a message from the Sarge there. Who else? So Treasures, he's agreeing with the brushstroke there. Though versus Sarge would be a hell of a bout. Yes, a bit of fisticuffs and a bruised nose or two.
Hang on
Watch
a
out
second.
for the cauliflower ear, though.
Time to get my big boa.
Indeed, so. I'll just go through the chat here. Why is Hasbro making Dr. Mendes so hard to get? He's kind of the tails to Sergeant Slaughter's heads.
I'll tell you, Brushstroke, in Australia, all of these G.I. Joe classifieds are hard to get, not just Dr. Mindbender. there's the man.
It's hard to find a good a soldier over in these parts too, sir. Yes, the last figure I saw was a Lady J in the shells. She'd been there for months and months. And she had travelled around
the shelves or in the shower.
She had travelled around the different shelves there. 1 minute she was hanging out with the Star Wars folk, and the next minute she was around near the Marvel people. So I thought we can't have that, can we?
Does Flint know about this?
Drop on the old lay-by there. She was on sale too, a bit of a sale. So you can't beat the old discount.
He has some questions.
Oh, who's that fellow there?
That's Flint. That's the main
Flint.
squeeze. The main squeeze of Lady J. What do you mean she's been hanging out with all these other action figures? I don't know what happened to them.
If one could be a fly on the wall or a fly on the tank there.
Say no more. At ease, maggot.
Brushstroke, yes, Perry has a brother in arms, not a psychic, you're right. Nice Balrog.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Did you smelt his ruins upon the mountainside there?
You shall not pass.
Well, that's the one. Oh, beauty.
Let me pass. You shall not pass. She gets
gets
around. Oof. Flint's just down there,
yeah.
mate. Oh, you
keep that under wraps for now, I think.
Oops, she's making moves.
I'm rather impressed there with the AK-47, of course. And now let's have him holding his baton like so. You know, the usual under the arm there, hopefully. I don't know if we got the right hand, but we'll have to hold it in a certain point. There we go. So just
oh yes, that looks good.
Zoom in with the scope there. And he's looking sternly at the troops that are all lined up.
Damn, that looks good.
Yes, it's a nice sort of a scanning pose there. He's inspecting the troops and the uniforms and who's standing up straight and who isn't. You can usually tell the ones that stay up all night. Yes, rather impressed there.
At ease, disease.
He's wondering who's made his cup of tea there.
That better be tea, maggot.
So I think to cap the night off there, we'll of course try and have him holding his a small action figure there.
So I found that you really have to
him
sort of
saying, looking, oh, look at that, oh.
that'll be Sarge holding my Sergeant Slaughter at Joe Fest, ready to sign it.
Yes, sir. We'll get him in a bit of a signing pose there, perhaps. Oh, there's tough arms. So there we go. He's doing a bit of a signing there.
Ah, perfect.
Indeed. And
I'll recreate that at Joe Fest for you.
Yes, sir. Let's see how we go here. Oh, they have indeed included all the stops there. So we do have in a bit of plastic, but we'll be responsible and keep that to one side for later. And oh dear. So yes, he is a tiny little fellow. You might need your binoculars to view him a bit better there. So he's with folded arms and what have you. We might get the old grip there. It's a bit fiddly with my old hands. So there we go. He's saying, "Oh, what's all this then?"
So I've got a comparison, if you'll allow me to show it off.
Indeed.
So you've got the micro size that's come with this one, but this was the original. This one was sent to me by Space Commander, and this one was originally packaged in with this one's been in the wars, but that was the original micro Sarge. They came with some GI Joes, and this was the first and only version of Sergeant Slaughter I had as a kid. Unfortunately, I was never able to get one of the original GI Joes here in Australia of Sergeant Slaughter. Whether or not they just didn't send a lot of them down this way, or he was so popular, I was never able to find one.
Yes, I see. There's been a lot of different variants out there, even in the wrestling figures. I know there's a Sergeant Slaughter in there, of course. But yes, we have another soldier late to the party there. Wanted to make you do 50 laps around the tennis court there. But welcome in, Palpatine, our Lord. Yes,
thank you for bringing your unlimited power. We'll need it against the Balrog.
Do it!
Do it! Do it!
So yes, I'm Sergeant SL'ELDOR there, Palpatine 197. He's kindly allowed me to use his YouTube channel there because I'm too busy drill sergeant to be running a YouTube channel, as it were. So he's allowed me to show off my Sergeant Slaughter action figure from the classified range. Indeed.
If Palpatine wasn't born in 1975, I'll buy you a Coke. That's my bet. My bet is they were born in 1975. If I'm wrong, I owe you a Coke.
Of course. So we'll go back to screen share there, and yes, where is he? Here we go, holding the version of the action figure, so there's a better look there, because obviously the quality is not too good at my end at the moment. So there we are. He's got the right figure there, the right figure for the job.
I'll tell you what, it must be surreal for Sergeant Slaughter to have an action figure of an action figure.
Yeah. Indeed, it'd be a real honor there, sir. I understand. Pixel Dan has finally had his own wrestling action figure come out there. I believe he was a pop vinyl at one point, and had an artist draw one of his favorite Masters of the Universe action figures on the side of it. Mosquito.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe it was.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. He's proudly holding all his wares there, all suited up with his AK, drill whistle, and aviators and hat, and of course his small action figure in tow there. So yes, a rather good assemble of pieces you get in that set.
Oh yeah.
And we'll quickly go to the chat there and see how we are progressing. Palpatine, yes indeed, you have done well. Thank you, my lord. You had to give me my Sith name, I believe it is.
Yeah, what would be Sergeant Slaughdor's Sith name? Darth what? Darth whom?
Oh,
Darth Whitebeard.
Yes, so he has to call up the dark side to come up with the name, as you see him do in the movie there. So it takes in a big deep breath as he summons all the powers of the dark side and so forth. So he's born in June, 29th of June, 1975.
There you go. I get to keep my Coke.
Which do you prefer, the Hasbro or Velaverse versions of Slaughter? I don't have the Velaverse version, but I assume you would there, XAZYL, sir.
Yeah, so the version 1 Velaverse Sergeant Slaughter I thought was an exceptional figure. What I liked about it was that it was something different. It wasn't copying anything that had come before. It was an older Sergeant Slaughter. He had a green jacket. to give him a unique look, which I thought was great. Oh yeah, you'll have a comparison shot there somewhere. So I thought that was brilliant, a brilliant idea. Yeah. So he's got that green jacket. He's got the older look. He's a grizzled old veteran coming back into the fight after retiring from service. I thought that was a great idea. The version 2 one was not necessarily a bad figure, but it seemed to me like, because everyone was saying, when are we going to get a Triple T style Sarge? When are we going to get the one with the black, just the black tank top? And I think when version 2 came along, it was pretty much to say to the fans, okay, you keep asking for pretty much that version, right? That's almost like Darth Slaughter. That's a good name. So I really like the Valaverse version 1. The Valaverse version 2, not a bad figure overall, not a bad figure, but it just felt like it was trying to appease too many Joe fans and not letting people appreciate Valaverse as its own toy line.
I understand it as its own storyline too.
Right.
I think it's roughly after a major upset, a bit of a war has gone south on a few people in America. Then they've all split off into different factions, and they're fighting for freedoms or whatever, and or fighting invading forces that might dissolve them into their factions and so forth. And you have, I believe, the Action Force is the special code name for the mercenaries for hire, if I'm not mistaken.
So the Wilhelm and the Jim Largo, they go through and do a very in-depth look at Action Force. I'd say go check them out if you really want to know the ins and outs of the Valaverse. Jim Largo and Wilhelm Toys and Hobbies. Check them out. They team up.
I've sat in on a few of their shows, so it's been an interesting look indeed. And I understand there's also a comic book, a bit of briefing material that goes along with the action figure line, which is quite impressive. The only other line I can think of that done that, which was, is our Master of the Universe, and that came out. You had the mini comics.
Correct.
They have other such lines that have come up with coinciding comic books, like your Star Wars. There was Shadows of the Empire that was a big media expose there back in the day.
Yeah, that was cool.
Star Wars had, dropped off the goddamn washout lane there, as it were.
Yeah.
And, so a big media storm to bring Star Wars back. So in many ways, Shadows of the Empire saved the day there, and got people refreshed it back into the Star Wars. So there was a few games. I think there was a Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Played in my youth. Good few hours there.
There was an album. There was a book. There was the comic books. The action figures.
Yes, Pound the Force type figures there, which came with comic books.
Yeah.
And a couple of vehicles, I think, also there. So
screw your feelings. Sergeant Slaughter has had a very good run in the last 2 years. And if I can do a shameless plug of one of my videos, if you'll indulge me on this one, Sergeant Slaughter, with your permission.
Yes, I keep the men updated there.
Okay, so if you check out, there's a video specifically on my channel where I get to sit down with the Sarge himself, and we go through every single modern action figure that has come out in the last couple of years, starting with Action Force, the Mattel Masters of the WWE, GI.JOE, all of that good stuff. And the wrestling
figure. WWE Elite figure at one point.
Yeah, he had 2 WWE figures come out. One was the Iraqi sympathizer, and the other one was the USA version of Sergeant Slaughter. But if you want to hear it from the Sarge himself,
soft goods. I know one of them had soft goods on him.
Yep, they both did. Yeah, they both had removable soft goods, jackets. 2 great figures in my opinion. Very well put together. Good sculpting on both wrestling figures. You got the two Valaverse ones, the He-Man inspired Masters of the WWE Universe, and obviously GI Joe. So that's quite a few. But if you want to hear it from the man himself, definitely go check out that video. And that's a good point, Palpatine. You're absolutely right. That is Hasbro is. I think this one is a caricature of Sergeant Slaughter as a cartoon character. So he's over. His muscles are a bit bigger than he's ever had. He's never been this fit in his life. No offense, Sarge, I love you. You know I do, but he's never been this buff.
I'm taking there.
But yeah, the making Sarge older for Action Force was a great idea. Valaverse Action Force, full force.
It's good to see the old war horses getting back into it. I remember in my movie travels there, I saw the battle. It was a battlefield or something, or battleship, and they brought up the old USS Missouri there to fight off the attacking alien force, and they had all the old war horses out there getting ready to set sail and perform a few, shall we say, unorthodox maneuvers there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're fighting against aliens, it's all unorthodox.
Of course, you have to think on your feet and place the anchor well, as they say. And also,
thanks,
yes, we're going to wind up there in just a wee moment. So, yes, that has been a good little show and a bit of a talk on the history of the G.I. Joe toy line and storyline there, and of course the main man himself, indeed, Sergeant Slaughter there. Ready
so I forget
whip the men into shape.
Yes. At ease, maggot. Now, I don't know who sculpted this figure. They may have mentioned it in the live stream for Hasbro. I do need to go and look that up because I think they did.
Need to locate it, but yes.
Yeah, I tried to have a look in the box. I couldn't see it. So I do know Adam Richards did the art on the box and did a tremendous job. But it is actually a lot of work has gone into this action figure too. So I feel as if I need to go and have and investigate that, find out who sculpted this figure, because I do think that it is very well done. It is a very epic rendition. Rendition? Am I using that word right? I don't know if I am. A representation of a G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter. This is not the wrestler. This is not the real life Sarge. This is the G.I. Joe head to toe Sergeant Slaughter.
The one and only maggots.
That's right. I think they did a tremendous job. So I feel like if I'm going to gush over this action figure, I need to figure out who sculpted it and give them some praise.
From head to toe, even the boot laces there, going up the boots, the knee pads. Textures in the pockets on the thighs there, the belt, and the fabric cloth-like texture in his singlet or tank top, as they might call it, to the hat. And he is represented there rather well in detail.
So,
attention to it, indeed. And we missed out his. He's looking up there. He's seen a bit of a night raven fly over, so you better get that sorted out.
If I leaned back that far, I'd never come back again.
Pilots up there with sky strikers.
Yeah, giving us that sort of view.
That's the one. Well, yes, I think we'll indeed cap the night off there. And yes, thank you all for those who were able to make it and didn't sleep in the barracks there, so we'll have to talk to those other people. But no doubt they'll have some catching up to do, unless they do 100 press-ups.
Oof, 100! Yikes!
Palpatine ending the night off there. Let's hope we get a classified Triple T tank, which we did pass some mentioning there earlier. So we'll have to see what indeed comes out next there in the classified. But being classified, it's all top secret.
That's right. If there's one coming, they didn't tell us. Highly classified.
The transmission in there. from the Sarge.
Oh,
So I'm just going to reply to that. Just to tell him we're just capping off the briefing there. And there we go.
yes.
I just said we've had a good night, mentioning him and his honourable history there, of course. And
Absolutely.
Trigger, he's sounding off there. Great stuff. I have
100
beers.
beers. Oh, that's a big night. I definitely couldn't do 100 beers now.
You won't get out. You won't get out of the trenches with all that in you.
No,
sure.
I wouldn't last an hour.
All right. So, yes, we'll see.
Thanks for having me, Sergeant SL'ELDOR. Pass on my regards to Eldor. Sarge is pointing in your direction, saying, "Thanks for having us." Thanks, maggot. Appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who came and watched us live, and hello to everyone that's catching the replay. It was good to see you.
And remember, knowing is only half the battle. Maggots,
you're dismissed. Yo, Joe.